is Ford in Vegas, a true crime podcast for the ages with two friends who hate each other. I'm Ford.
I am begrudgingly here, but I'm Vegas.
Why are you begrudgingly here?
Well, we'll find out at the end of the show.
Oh, that's right. You lost our bet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so in the non-true crime portion of the show, which is the end of the show, Joey Vegas gets to pay the piper. That's right. He lost a bet when his White Sox lost 4 of 7 to the Yankees. And now he gets to eat 4 Jelly Bellies. Now you're probably thinking, 4 Jelly Bellies? Whatever. But they'll be either flaming hot or they could be very gross. And we'll go over all the flavors and all of that at the end of the show. Vegas, I'm excited about it. You get to spin the wheel. There'll be a little wheel here. He gets to spin the wheel and make the deal.
Yeah, I'm sure you're ecstatic. Yankees cheated.
At the end of this show, Vegas will pay the piper. But before that, we have a lot of interesting things to talk about tonight. Vegas, it's what I like to call a loaded show.
Loaded like a gun?
Loaded like a gun.
I mean, that's the only things. I mean, you could get loaded.
Yeah.
Like liquored up loaded.
The show is loaded. It's action-packed.
But what else can you load? The truck, the truck could get loaded?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could load
The
a
trailer,
truck.
yeah.
You could take a load off, but you're not getting loaded. You're taking a load off.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I got a big show planned for all of us, Vegas included, tonight. So we won't waste any more of your time. Let's just get right to it. What do you say, Vegas?
hey, listen, you're the boss. I'm just here for because you pretty much make me. You tell me if I don't, you're going to spread all my deep, dark secrets.
And we also have a cold case tonight.
I love cold cases.
Yes.
Nothing better than giving the family, some peace.
And we're going to do a deep dive into somebody you probably have never heard of before. So a lot to do tonight. We'll get right to it. The woman, Nancy Crampton Brophy, who wrote a blog titled How to Murder Your Husband, was found guilty of murdering her husband. That's right. A jury in the city of Portland, Oregon, has convicted a self-published romance novelist who wrote an essay titled How to Murder Your Husband. Well, she was found guilty of fatally shooting her husband. The 12-person jury of her peers found Nancy Crampton Brophy, 71 years old, guilty of second-degree murder on Wednesday. That was yesterday, as we record this tonight. After deliberating for 2 days over Daniel Brophy's death, according to reports. Brophy was a 63-year-old chef, was killed on the 2nd of June in 2018 as he prepared for work at the Oregon Culinary Institute in Southwest Portland. Vegas, we talked about this not that long ago, probably several weeks ago. I mentioned this story. Do you remember this story?
Yeah, I mean, I remember you mentioning it.
Yes.
In passing by.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe she went into his classroom and shot him and killed him. And then the students came in and found him. I believe that's how it went when we discussed it several weeks ago. Crampton Brophy showed no visible reaction to the verdict. I will show her there on the screen. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see her with her earbuds in her ears. I wonder what she's listening to. Crampton Brophy showed no visible reaction to the verdict in the crowded Multnomah County. I don't live in Portland. So. Multnomah County courtroom. Lisa Maxfield was one of her lawyers, said the defense team would appeal against the decision, of course. The defendant's 2011 detailed her essay detailed a various options for committing an untraceable killing. Vegas, obviously, it wasn't that good of a writing because it was traceable.
I'm wondering if she found any of her, because if you said that she just went into his classroom, shot him, and then left, like that's kind of not how you kill someone and get away with it. Like you're not gonna get away with it much if you're gonna shoot somebody in a classroom like that.
So the writing is still available.
I want to read that.
You want to read it?
Not now, but
It's not long.
Oh, wait. It's just an essay?
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, you could read it if you wanted to. But I don't, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't, because there might be women out there that want to kill their husbands. I don't want to be an accessory.
As a romantic suspense writer, I spend a lot of time thinking about murder and consequently about police procedure. After all, if the murderer is supposed to set me free, I certainly don't want to spend any time in jail. And let me say clearly for the record, I don't like jumpsuits, and orange isn't my color. Motives. 1, financial. This is big. Divorce is expensive. And do you really want to split your possessions?
No, you just want to murder somebody.
Or if you married for money, aren't you entitled to all of it? The drawback is the police aren't stupid. They are looking at you first. So you have to be organized, ruthless, and very clever. Husbands have disappeared from cruise ships before. Why not yours? Number 2, lying, cheating bastard. Deception of any sort. This is a crime of passion. In anger, you bash his head in or stab him with a kitchen knife. Most of the time, there is a trail that leads directly to you. Each type of murder leaves clues. A crime of passion does not look like a stranger was involved. And who is left to clean the blood from your carpeting? Fell in love. Number 3, fell in love with someone else. Usually financial is also involved here. Let's say your church frowns on divorce. You need to be a widow so you won't fall out of favor with your religion. At this point, I should mention that it helps if you aren't too burdened by the 10 Commandments.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Number 4, abuser. This one is tough. Anybody can claim abuse. What is abuse? To a teenager, it might look different than to a spouse. As a motivation, this reason usually comes up after you've been arrested. Not a lot of abused wives dial 911, burning down the house with their husband in it. Number 5, it's your profession. Now we're talking. You already possess both skill and knowledge. You have the moral ambiguity necessary to carry it off. Quick hit and you fade from the scene. Get your payment up front from someone else because life insurance probably won't send a check. Options to consider. Guns. Loud, messy, requires some skill. If it takes 10 shots for the sucker to die, either you have terrible aim or he's on drugs. Knives, really personal and close up, blood everywhere, you. Garrot. How much upper body strength does it require to strangle a person? Random heavy piece of equipment. Usually this involves hitting someone hard with a baseball bat or a pipe wrench you just happen to have in your hand. Poison. Considered a woman's weapon. Arsenic is easy to obtain. Worse, easy to trace. It takes a month or 2 to kill someone. Plus, they are sick the entire time. Who wants to hang out with a sick husband? Knowledge of pharmaceuticals would be handy. Availability would be even better. A word of caution. Watch out for poisons found in nature. They are not a sure thing. Too little? Too much? Your mother always told you to marry a doctor. Now you know why. Hiring a hitman. Do you know a hitman? Neither do I. And an amazing number of hitmen rat you out to the police or blackmail you later. Hiring a lover. Never a good idea. The husband dies and the wife gets the money. The lover doesn't always win in this scenario. Sometimes he, too, finds himself facing a loaded gun. I find it easier to wish people dead than to actually kill them. I don't want to worry about blood and brains splattered on my walls. And really, I'm not good at remembering lies. But the thing I know about murder is that every one of us have it in him or her when pushed far enough. What constitutes a good romantic suspense is the whys. What happened that forced a person into this situation? How will they justify this action? By the way, he needed killing is not a legal defense. Can they keep a secret? A confidence whispered in the dark is no longer a secret. What if killing didn't produce the right results? Would they do it again? Could they do it again? What if they liked it? Whoa, there's an idea for a new story.
Yeah, this woman is nutso. And she obviously wasn't very good because she got caught right away.
The circuit judge, Christopher Ramris, had excluded that essay that I just read to you from the trial, noting it had been published several years ago. Jurors were not allowed to consider it in their judgment. Good luck with that one. A prosecutor, however, alluded to the essay's themes without naming it after Crampton Brophy took the stand. Prosecutors told jurors Crampton Brophy was motivated by money problems and a life insurance policy. However, Crampton Brophy said she had no reason to kill her husband, and their financial problems had largely been solved by cashing in a portion of Brophy's retirement savings plan. She owned the same make and model of a gun used to kill her husband and was seen on surveillance footage driving to and from the Culinary Institute, court exhibits and testimony showed. Prosecutors allege Crampton Brophy had bought a ghost gun, an untraceable firearm kit, and swapped parts with a shop-bought handgun. Police never found the handgun that killed Brophy. Defense lawyers said the gun parts were the inspiration for an idea Crampton Brophy's had for a new book and suggested somebody else may have killed Brophy during a botched robbery. Crampton Brophy testified that her presence near the culinary school on the day of her husband's death was a mere coincidence and that she had parked in the area to work on her writing. Crampton Brophy has been in custody since her arrest in September of 2018, and she will be sentenced on the 13th of June. I already read that part. I was going to say the Associated Press quoted the part of the essay. But there you go.
Yeah, I mean, not very good for somebody that wrote about killing people.
She tried.
She did.
She tried to use a gun, a different gun, untraceable.
She did. They never found the gun, so she was
Yeah.
good. She was fine on that. Last time I checked, if you can't find a murder weapon.
No, it's if you can't find a body.
Well, that too.
But you don't have to find a murder weapon.
I mean, that helps.
If they can put you at, well, it helps, but if they could put you at the scene, which they can, they don't need a weapon. You do need a body, but you don't need a weapon.
Oh, yeah. It helps, though, if you have a weapon.
But if I'm remembering this story correctly, and it doesn't say it there by the Guardian, but she did show up at the school, and she shot him and killed him in his classroom. And then the students are the ones that found him. How about that?
Well, that's crazy. She's a winner. She's a winner. She's going to prison.
Well, I'm glad we got to read the essay.
Yeah, because just in case any wives out there want to kill their husbands, there you go. Divorce is expensive. And aren't you entitled, if you married for money, aren't you entitled to it all? Like, what kind of, like, if you married into money, you're like, yeah, I'm entitled to it all. Wait,
Well, yeah, that's a weird.
yeah, like what? Like you,
No.
like if I had money and you
You'd be
married
entitled
into
to
me,
half.
yeah, you're not entitled to all my money.
Just half of it.
Yeah.
And even then, you could still fight it.
Yeah, and even then, if I had a bunch of money, I'd make you sign a prenup. You get a little bit, but you ain't gonna get half.
Now, between us, you and I have two marriages between us.
Yep.
Divorces, we have one.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever want to kill your now ex-wife when you guys were together?
No, I never wanted to kill her.
You had no rage
no.
of, no thoughts of,
Not a.
sudden thoughts of rage,
Well, I mean, there was rage and upset and
but you never thought.
yeah, and I never thought of killing her. No, I didn't even. I didn't even hit her.
Well,
but
I didn't even hit her. He says.
Trust me, there was probably an opportunity to hit her. She deserved it.
I literally.
But
I let her off the hook.
Yeah, but I didn't hit her. But I did push her out of my way a couple times, and she did fall over the couch.
Now, was she like in your way?
Yeah, I was trying to leave.
Oh, and she was deterring you from leaving.
Yeah, I was.
Now I know your ex-wife. It's weird that she didn't want you to leave. I figured she'd want you
Well,
to leave.
well, she didn't want me to leave because I had something that proved that she was cheating. She didn't want me to leave with that particular thing. Yeah. However, my retort to that was, well, I bought you this for Christmas.
Yeah.
And now you used it to send naked pictures to other guys. So I was like, I'm going to take this.
Yeah.
And thank you, Apple, for installing the remote wipe feature because she remote wiped it as soon as I got out the door.
What's that?
Yeah, you can you can remote wipe your iPad.
Oh, it was an iPad.
It was an iPad, yeah. Factory reset it remotely.
Wow. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, you can do that, yeah.
I mean, that just screams I'm doing something wrong.
Oh, no, I know. I left. I'm like, you know what? I'm leaving. And she wouldn't let me leave. And I pushed her out of the way. She fell over the couch.
Yeah.
And then I left. And then,
what's the statute of limitations on a battery, a domestic battery?
Pushing over the couch?
Yeah. I think you're in the clear.
Well, yeah, because one, she'd have to press charges.
And she never did.
No, and
so
she
that's
couldn't.
Surprising.
She was in front of me. I was trying to get out of the situation.
So you were technically being held captive.
Yeah, because she didn't want me to leave with the evidence. Because I told her I was being a real nice guy, and I told her I'm going to go over to her parents' house.
Oh, there you go. I'm going to tell your mommy on you.
Yeah, I was going to go over to her parents' house and blast it all over the, all the Apple devices. I was going to airdrop it all over there.
Oh, that would have been fantastic.
Yeah, but she'd wiped it before I could get over there.
That would have been worth the TikTok, and unfortunately, TikTok wasn't around then.
No, that would have been worth a lot of things.
What year was that?
Oh, what year was that?
2017.
Yeah, 17. Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, yeah, 17. Yeah.
I never heard of this story. I've known you for a very long time. Never even heard of this story.
Well, because somebody might be listening.
That's great. I'm glad you're letting it out. Do you hold any? Do you still hold any resent or no?
Not anymore. I could care less. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I just hope for utter and dismay for the rest of her life.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. A woman who murdered a baby boy that she wanted to adopt has been jailed for at least 18 years. Laura Castle shook 13-month-old Leiland-James Corkill at her home in Barrow, Cumbria.
Who?
In January of 2021.
Where's Barrow, Cumbria?
I think it's over the pond.
Oh, in England?
Yeah, I think it's in England.
All right.
Don't you have a phone? You should be able to tell me where it is.
I don't even know how to spell Barrow, Cumbria.
B-A-R-R-O-W.
Hold on.
B-A-R-R-O-W. And then Cumbria is C-U-M-B-R-I-A. She admitted to manslaughter, but at Preston Crown Court was found guilty of murder and child cruelty. Her husband, Scott Castle, he avoided. He was cleared of causing or allowing the boy's death. Castle's 38 was sentenced to life, which is a minimum term of 18. So she's going to do 18 for sure. She'll get out at 56, maybe 57, depending on when her birthday is. Dressed all in black, she wept loudly throughout the hearing, especially when statements were read from Leiland-James's birth mother, Laura Corkill, who called her son's killer a monster. Mr. Justice Jeremy Baker said Castle had a selfish desire to keep Leiland-James, even though she was struggling to bond with the baby, and it was a tragedy the Castles did not end the adoption. Leiland-James moved in with the Castles in August of 2020 when he was 8 months old. Having been taken into care by Cumbria County Council at birth, the court heard the couple struggled to bond with him, and Castle sent her husband messages while he was at work. This is what I'm going to need you. I'm going to need you on the Google here, Vegas.
Oh, boy.
She sent him messages while he was at work criticizing Leiland-James, calling him vulgar names and a moaning wingbag. Whinge bag?
Moaning?
Yeah, moaning. WHINGE bag. So 3 words. I need to find out what that means. A whinge bag.
Whinge bag.
Yeah, what does a whinge bag mean? It's got to be a UK thing.
Well, that's not right.
WHINGE bag.
Hold on.
And describing how she absolutely leathered him. That's another phrase that I'm not familiar with.
Damn it.
A whinge bag? And
Right.
she absolutely leathered him.
So a whinge bag.
Yeah.
A whinge bag is slang. It's derogatory. It is a person who whinges, a peevish complainer.
Okay, so she's calling him a complainer for crying.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what does the phrase, what would the phrase absolutely leathered him? Would that be another way of saying loathed him? I'm thinking. I don't even know how you're going to even be able to Google and find that one out. But it feels like, judging by the fact that she shook him to death, it feels like she loathed him. So it feels like when she says that she absolutely leathered him, the implication would be she loathed him.
Well, leathered, it says leathered.
I'm just guessing.
Well, there's a couple. One, it's very drunk, which I doubt this was the case.
No.
Other one is when you have pissed off someone so badly that instead of calling you and bitching you out, they write an email or IM that pages long and book worthy.
No, that's not it either.
To get badly hurt and subsequently lose a fight.
I don't think that's it either.
To be stoned past movement. To have been taken too much cannabis. That's not.
No,
I
don't think the kid was too high.
But it's funny though, because when I say that, it comes up with this kid's picture.
Oh yeah,
I absolutely leathered him. So I'm assuming it is the to hate someone so much when you have pissed off someone. Like,
okay, so the baby's showing up. Leiland-James is showing up on the Google searches.
yeah. So obviously leathered him. I'm assuming that's loathe, like a loathe. I loathe him so much.
At about 8:15 GMT on the 6th of January 2021, Castle called 999, which is the equivalent to 911, to say Leiland-James was unconscious and breathing awkwardly after falling from the sofa. He died the following day at Alder Hey Children's Hospital in Liverpool, where doctors were highly suspicious of her account. On the opening day of the trial, she admitted manslaughter but said she did not mean to kill him. She told the court that she lost her mind as the boy was crying and she shook him to try to silence him, accidentally hitting his head against the arm of the sofa. Neighbors said they heard a thud, but no baby crying, with prosecutors claiming Castle lost her temper when Leiland-James spat out Weetabix.
That's a cereal or not, or something like that.
It's gotta be.
Like not cereal,
Yeah,
but
because
something.
the W is capitalized. So it's
Weetabix.
some kind of something.
He spit out. He was 13 months old. Why is he even doing Weetabix?
Pathologists said severe force would have been needed to cause the fatal brain injuries, and believed his head had been struck against a hard surface.
Oh.
They said a fall from the sofa would not account for the extensive internal bleeding, and likened his injuries to those suffered in a high-speed car crash. Like a high-speed car crash. You know?
Yeah.
Like a Paul Walker car crash.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Not falling off the sofa. Lack of candor. Cumbria County Council was aware of the bonding issues, but not that Castle was using physical chastisement. With no marks or bruises seen on the boy, the court had heard. A review of the placement was scheduled for early January after a social worker said that she could not approve the continuation of the adoption without further training for the Castles, but Leiland-James was killed before that could even happen. Prosecutor Rachel Foe said Laura Castle's lack of candor about using physical chastisement was an aggravating feature, as had the council known of her views, Leiland-James would have never been placed with her. So some of this, and we'll keep going, but does some of this fall at all on the agency? Because it feels like they knew that the Castles were having a hard time with this kid, and they didn't act fast enough, clearly.
I mean, it's always easy to see or to say after the fact. I mean, I don't know if it was the agencies. I mean,
don't they have to accept a little blame? Just a little?
I mean, maybe if it was, but they said there were no bruises and nothing. They just knew that they weren't bonding. Well, not bonding doesn't, but
you bring up a good point there. Because had they seen bruises and didn't do anything,
well, then it's their fault 100%.
That's a different story. But it's a valid point there, Vegas.
Yeah, but they didn't see bruises, so they just assumed. I mean, you and I don't bond well together. I mean, I don't like you. But I'm not gonna shake you to death.
You could. I mean, the boy's mother, the mother that gave him up, said that her son was taken from her because of the risk of emotional and physical harm, but that he had actually suffered this at the hands of his adoptive mother. In a statement read to the court, she said, "I was told he would be safe and he'd have a good life, and I was fine with that," which is a little weird. "My world is broken. I can honestly say this would have never happened if he was with me. An innocent life cut too short. It breaks me to think that I will never see his face again." In a letter issued by the Cumbria police, she said her beautiful blue-eyed baby boy was placed in the home of a monster. She said he was a precious baby, vulnerable and innocent. He had no voice. He could not defend himself. Charlotte Day, who fostered Leiland-James from when he was 2 months old until his placement with Cathal, said her family was heartbroken. She said that she was now questioning her fostering vocation, as the fear of ever being able to trust a prospective adopter again is such a concern. She said Leiland-James was a beautiful boy with the most contagious laugh, and the trial had been nearly a daily struggle as more information came out about what happened to him, including abuse from those who should have been his forever family. David McClellan, QC, mitigating, said Castle was alone and broken, having been isolated and ostracized in prison following the guilty verdict, and faced the unlikely end of her marriage. But he said there was only one innocent party, Leiland-James, adding Castle knew she only has herself to blame. He said Castle went into the adoption process hoping to do some good, but within weeks, the situation started to unravel. McLachlan, I don't know how you pronounce this guy's name, but he said it was clear that Castle had been struggling with her husband working nights and the difficulty that national and local lockdowns brought. But he said that there were good days as well, and Leiland-James was clearly loved by the Castles as parents. He said this was not the gratuitous kind of abuse often reflected in headlines, which the judge agreed. Vegas, the judge said that Castle had unrealistic expectations for the adoption, and that though the couple discussed ending it, it was nothing less than a tragedy that they did not do so. And that's kind of the part where I feel like maybe the agency, maybe the agency wasn't made aware that the Castles were thinking they didn't want to do this anymore.
Well, I'm sure they didn't tell them that. They should have. They should have said, you know what, we can't handle it. First of all, you wanted a kid, okay? For whatever reason, you didn't want to give birth. Whether it was you couldn't, whether it was you didn't, want to have sex with your husband, whatever, whether you just wanted to adopt somebody that wasn't going to have a home. I don't know. But you wanted this, and then you didn't bond. Like, my question is bonding. It takes a long time to bond with a kid. The problem is this kid was probably bonded fine with the parents, or the adopted parents, but the parents were just like, the kid cries too much. He shits his pants. Oh my god. Like, yeah, that's what kids do. That's what 8-month to 13-month-old kids do.
He says here that Castle deliberately lied about her attitude towards physical chastisement, knowing that if she had told the truth, the council would have never entrusted the care of a looked-after child to her. So I guess what they're saying is she lied. They asked, would you, do physical punishment, or as they say in the UK, chastisement. And she said no, and she lied.
She didn't. She just shook the baby to death.
So as she said yes,
well,
but who's going to say, who's going to say yes in that situation?
Yeah.
Knowing that if you say yes, this goal, this dream of yours is over.
That's like you go into a job interview and them asking like, well, have you ever stole anything from a company? And you're like, well, yeah, actually, the last time I did steal a couple pens and some paper, and actually I did, steal that. Like, you're not gonna, even if you did, you're not gonna admit to it.
No.
Everybody stole from a company.
You say no.
Everybody had a pen or some paper clips or something, but yeah, you never admit to it.
The judge said that Castle saw herself as something of a victim and blamed Leiland-James at least partly for the struggles which left her shouting and inflicting some degree of physical chastisement.
I, too, blame 13-month-old kids.
He said what exactly happened on 6th of January may never be known, as Castle significantly underplayed the violence she inflicted.
This is a wonderful woman right here.
January 6, 2021. What was America doing on January 6, 2021?
Well, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know that date. He said, the judge said that external injuries to the baby's face and ear were consistent with slapping, pinching, and prodding, while wounds to his lips and mouth were caused when Castle rammed a bottle of milk not, as she told jurors, in an effort to comfort him, but in anger. She jammed the bottle.
This lady is
into his mouth.
A piece of work.
He also sentenced her to 21 months for the child cruelty charge to be served concurrently, and she will not be eligible for parole for 17 years.
I don't know about you, but I don't think she should get out of prison ever.
No. The man who led the investigation, Dave Pattinson, said it was a horrific set of circumstances and obvious to medical responders at the scene a fall from the sofa didn't add up with the nature of the injuries. He said only Castle knew what happened that morning and had never actually told anyone the truth. He said that she was a horrible human being and a manipulative liar. Mr. Pattinson said the messages she sent were abhorrent and called her a bully. Cumbria County Council said an independent review into the case was expected to conclude in July. So yeah, I agree with you, Vegas. She should never see the light of day again unless it's behind a fence. I don't know how they do things over there in the UK. I mean, honestly, they should just put Old Yeller down.
Well, yeah, but I mean, capital punishment.
Just kill her.
Capital punishment only
just kill her.
Works in a couple states.
This is in the UK. Just kill her.
Yeah.
She doesn't deserve. Just as much as that baby didn't deserve to be shook to death, she doesn't deserve to live. She doesn't. I'm sorry.
No.
She doesn't.
No, she doesn't.
So if you took it on a scale of 1 to 10 and said, should Leiland-James been, murdered, 10 being, absolutely not, then it's a 10. It's the same number for should she be allowed to live? Absolutely not.
No.
And I you know what? We've talked about, and we will end up talking about numerous times on this show. I am okay with, and I believe in, an eye for an eye. If you kill, you should be killed. Kind of like how they treated that kid in Texas. Okay? That kid in Texas was not being taken alive.
No.
And he doesn't deserve to be. Just like this lady doesn't deserve to be.
No, she deserves to be dead. But unfortunately, that's not how the world works, at least in that country, in our country. She is going to go to jail. She's going to get out in 17 years unless she does something in jail. And she's going to live, go on living her life knowing that she murdered a baby. And maybe that's good enough for some. Not for me.
So last week we did a deep dive into Robert Berdella.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about his crimes. He killed at least 6 young men. Rumor has it was more likely 8. But they only know officially of 6. We talked about that. He did some killings. His killings were done in the 80s. And we talked about it just simply because I feel like there's a lot of crimes, a lot of serial killers out there that we may have never heard of. And I've never heard of Robert Berdella. And I'm sure a lot of you who listen to it never heard of Robert Berdella. And we're going to keep that train rolling tonight, Vegas. But this week I decided I should find us a female serial killer.
There's probably not that many out there, I don't think. Is there?
Female serial killers, they don't get enough attention. And that's kind of weird because there probably isn't a whole lot of them.
No.
But I can't think of one.
Yeah, I don't know of one off the top of my head. No.
Yeah, and me, I don't either. Maybe if somebody rattled off some big names, I might be like, oh, yeah, I do know who you're talking. But off the top of my head, if somebody came up to me and said, for $1, name me one female serial killer, I would not become $1 richer.
No, but you could probably name 4 or 5 male serial killers.
All right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Bundy, Dahmer, Gacy, Berdella. So this week, we're going to uncover a female serial killer. And tonight, Vegas, we're going to talk about Britain's first ever serial killer.
Ooh.
That's right. She is dubbed Britain's first serial killer. How about that? First serial killer in British history.
Not only the first woman serial killer, but the first serial killer of serial killers.
Yes. The first British serial killer.
She's the OG serial killer.
Her name is Mary Ann Cotton.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you about Mary Ann Cotton. She was a British serial killer in the 19th century, employing poison. She is suspected of murdering up to 21 people.
Ew.
She was the most prolific British serial killer before Harold Shipman.
Who?
Harold Shipman.
Oh, Shipman.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was born Mary Ann Robeson in 1832 in the village of Low Mersley in Tyne and Wear, northern England. Her father was a miner who died when she was 8. That's going to play a role, probably. And Mary and her brother were raised by their mother, who was impoverished after the loss of her husband. Mary's mother later remarried, and Mary is said to have loathed her stepfather. I'm sure that plays a role here. Conflict with her stepfather led her to flee the family home when she was just 16. She married in 1852 at the age of 20 and had 5 children, 4 of whom died in infancy, a high rate of infant mortality, even in the Victorian era. Mary frequently argued with her husband, who died suddenly in January of 1865. Now widowed, Mary returned to Sunderland, and a few months later got married again. And her new husband died in October of 1865 from an unexplained illness. In 1866, Mary's mother died after a sudden illness. Did I say southern?
You said southern.
I meant sudden illness. At that time, Mary was enjoying a relationship with a widower, James Robinson, whom she had soon married. Robinson had 4 children by his late wife, although 2 suddenly died after he met Mary. Robinson became suspicious of his new wife, especially when she kept pestering him to take out life insurance. In late 1869, having borne him a daughter, Mary walked out on Robinson, who was the only husband to survive a marriage to her. That's right, Vegas. He was the only man to get out alive.
Lucky for him.
In 1870, married widower Frederick Cotton, whose surname she took and by which name she is usually known, even though the marriage was effectively null and void because Mary had not legally divorced her previous husband. Mary Cotton had a son with Frederick, soon Frederick's sister, 2 sons from his previous marriage, and a number of friends all died after southern illnesses. Did I say southern again?
You didn't say southern.
Why am I having such a hard time with that?
I don't know. That southern illness.
Sudden illnesses.
Not even close to the same.
Frederick himself died in December of 1871, soon followed by the baby that Mary had by him. Mary quickly remarried, but her new husband quickly died after, get this, a short illness. In the spring of 1872, one of Mary Cotton's few surviving stepchildren, Charles Cotton, whose father had been Frederick, died suddenly. Word quickly spread around the neighborhood concerning the way so many of Mary's nearest and dearest have died so suddenly over the previous 2 decades. Now let's also remember that this is 1872.
Yeah, people were dropping dead.
Where you only live to be about 30, and that's considered an old person, right? Like, what was the average? I mean, come on, 35 maybe?
I'll Google that.
Please, 1872.
Yep.
The average lifespan in 1872. Thomas Riley, a minor government official, was suspicious of this latest death. Mary Cotton had told him that Charles had been in the way of her plans of getting remarried. Furthermore, young Charles had appeared very healthy up until his sudden death, which was supposedly due to gastric fever. Mary tried to collect on the life insurance that she had taken out on Charles Cotton's life, but the insurance company refused to pay until the body of the deceased had been investigated more thoroughly. Charles Cotton's remains were exhumed, and a significant trace of arsenic was found in his stomach. Charges soon followed, and Mary Cotton was eventually tried for the murder of Charles Cotton, her final victim. She was convicted, and in this era in Britain, she was sentenced to death. On March 24, 1873, Mary Cotton was hanged. The execution was botched, with Mary failing to die from the initial drop after the gallows trap door opened. Instead, she slowly choked to death as she dangled on the end of the noose.
Couldn't happen to a better person.
In spite of the fact that she maintained her innocence to the end, her reputation as the first female serial killer in Britain stands, and her story is even the subject of a children's rhyme. I'll read it to you. Mary Ann Cotton, she's dead and she's rotten. She lies in her bed with her eyes wide open. Sing, sing. Oh, what can I sing? Mary Ann Cotton is tied up with string. Where? Up in the air, selling black puddings, a penny a pair. So she is accredited, I guess you could say, with 21 victims, maybe even more.
Well, they all had sudden illnesses.
The victims' profiles. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
8 of her own children, 7 stepchildren, her mother, 3 husbands, a lover, and an inconvenient friend. This woman killed 8 of her own children. Think about this.
Man. I mean, she
all
obviously
by poisoning.
Yeah, she obviously got a kick out of it.
Now, this is an era, obviously, where you could buy arsenic and get away with it.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I'm actually and this is just me. Like, I would think after the first couple husbands and kids died, like you would think, okay, something's up. But again, like you said,
there are different times.
The average lifespan in 1870 to 1874
was what?
Was 42.6 for a man.
So I was a little exaggerative when I said 30, 35. It was literally 42. Think about that. I could be dead in 3 years if this was the 1800s or 1870s.
That might be good for you.
Go out in a blaze of glory, baby. 42. That's mind blowing. Now, what goes that begs the question. A little off the subject here of Marianne Cotton, real quick, but that begs the question: if it's 42 in 1872, now it's what, like 88?
No, in 2000 it was 78.6.
78. Okay, so we might get into the 90s
Eventually.
in 40 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mary Ann Cotton, characteristics: poisoner, to collect insurance money. Can you imagine being the husband that she hounded to open up an insurance policy? Come on. You never know what might happen. You never know.
Well, and at this point, like this is so long ago. The current husband probably had no idea she was married before.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't like you can go to the archives and stuff in the counties and get all that information. Like, they probably had no idea.
Yeah, husband number 1 was William Mowbray. Husband number 2 was George Ward. Husband number 3 was James Robinson. Husband, quotes, number 4 was Frederick Cotton, which that's the right name to choose to go by. Mary Cotton.
Cotton.
It's better than Robinson, Ward, Mowbray. She killed 2 lovers. The death of 21 people in all. She gets credit for killing. All arsenic.
Mysterious illnesses.
Now there's a movie. If you guys want to watch a movie about Mary Ann Cotton, the movie is called Dark Angel, and is based on the true story of Victorian poisoner Mary Ann Cotton, played by Downton Abbey star Joanne Froghat.
That's a name.
It looks like it's on Amazon. I wonder if it is a Prime Video. Yeah, it looks like you could stream. It looks like you might be able to stream it on Prime Video.
Maybe some binge watching this weekend?
I might actually watch this movie just to see. Can you tell me if it's any good? Dark Angel?
Dark Angel?
Yeah.
Is that the name?
Yeah. Dark Angel, the true story of Mary Ann Cotton. But it doesn't, oh yeah, it does say that on the cover. The true story. But if you just type in Dark Angel, Mary Ann Cotton, Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 6.7 on IMDb. On Amazon, at a 461 ratings, it has 4 stars out of 5.
I don't think it has a Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't even know if it came to this country. Well, this version says will not play in the U.S.
Oh, there is a.
Okay, you can get it on Prime. For those of you that want to watch, you get it on Prime.
So Rotten Tomatoes, no critic score, obviously, but the audience says it's 75%.
It looks like it's a show.
It was on PBS.
Yeah, it's a 3-parter.
Yeah.
So on Prime, yeah, because Downton Abbey's on PBS, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Prime, you can watch it for $9.99. You can get all 3 episodes, or you can sign up for PBS Masterpiece for a 7-day free trial. I might actually watch this just to
get a little backstory.
Just to see what it's like.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Britain's first serial killer.
I mean, yeah. Well, why not? And it's a movie, and you like movies.
I feel like you're mocking me.
Me? No, I'd never mock you. Speaking of movies, did you know they're making a Winnie the Pooh horror movie?
Shut up.
I swear to God.
Is that why I saw somebody on Twitter say, "What did you guys do to Winnie the Pooh?"
Yeah. It's Winnie the backstory is Winnie.
What's it called?
I think it's Winnie the Pooh horror. Just type in Winnie the Pooh horror.
How do you spell Winnie?
Winnie.
Oh,
Winnie.
Winnie the Pooh horror movie.
Yeah, it's Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, and Christopher Robin abandons them, and they go on a murderous spree.
Shut up.
Yeah, but they can't use like Tigger's not in there, or Eeyore's in there, but they eat them apparently.
They eat Eeyore?
I guess so, but like some of the
Baby
characters,
no matter.
aren't in there because they're still owned by Disney. But yeah, Winnie the Pooh and Piglet go on a murderous rampage. I was like, wait, what? What? What's going on?
Baby no matter. I liked the Winnie the Pooh movie that came out a couple years ago.
Yeah, this is not the
All
same.
right, so I'm gonna have to watch this when we're off the when we're off
The trailer?
air, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Did you watch it?
I watched a clip. It wasn't the whole thing.
It wasn't your jam or what?
No, it just wasn't my. I didn't go to watch the whole thing yet. But I thought I thought of you immediately.
Yeah, because I'm a Winnie the Pooh fan.
Yeah, you're like, I love Winnie the Pooh,
I do.
and I'm like, and you love horror movies.
I do.
So I guess it's your jam.
I'm gonna watch it.
That's so great. Oh boy.
Every week on this show, I realized tonight, Vegas, that there may come some weeks where we don't have one to talk about. And I say that, and I'm talking about a cold case that's been solved. I say that because how I find these cold cases, I just simply go on Google and I type in cold case solved. And last week's was number 2 on the Google results. This was the only one that was fresh from the last week. So I was like, damn, you know what? There may be weeks where there's not a solved cold case.
Yeah.
But luckily, there is one, and it's more than 30 years old. Joy Hibbs was found dead inside of her burning suburban Philadelphia home. The decade-long search for her killer has ended in an arrest. That's right, Vegas. The killer is still alive.
Wow, that's a first.
Bucks County District Attorney Matthew Weintraub announced Wednesday the arrest of Robert Francis Atkins, 56, of Fairless Hills for the murder of Hibbs, who was 35, in 1991. Atkins is charged with first-degree and second-degree murder, arson, robbery, and other offenses. Deanna Durante was there on Wednesday as Atkins was taken into custody. She reports that Atkins said nothing inside the courtroom. The cold case murder made national headlines over the years before the breakthrough announcement from Bucks County officials. On Friday, April 19, 1991, Hibbs' 12-year-old son was dismissed early from elementary school and arrived at their home along the 1200 block of Spencer Drive in the Croydon section of Bristol Township around 1:05 p.m. to find the kitchen on fire. Hibbs' son couldn't get past the kitchen due to the flames and smoke. He then ran to the neighbors for help. After the fire was extinguished, Joy Hibbs was found dead on a bed in her son's bedroom. Investigators initially believe Hibbs died in an accidental fire, but an autopsy the next day, however, revealed that she had been stabbed repeatedly. Her ribs were also fractured. She was likely asphyxiated. The autopsy also determined that there was no smoke in her lungs and that she likely died prior to the fire. The fire marshal then determined fires were intentionally set in the kitchen, Hobbs' son's bedroom, and in the hallway. Investigators later learned that Hibbs had cashed her paycheck hours before her death, and her wallet was found stuffed in the living room couch. Her purse was also found with items emptied and strewn out in the kitchen, while cash was never located. Police said Hibbs was likely murdered between 11:50 a.m. and 12:50 p.m. that day. During that 1 hour window, witnesses spotted a blue Chevy Monte Carlo parked outside the Hibbs home. At the time, investigators named several suspects, including Atkins, who had a blue Chevy Monte Carlo and also at one point lived 2 doors away from Hibbs. Police also said Atkins occasionally sold marijuana to Hibbs and her husband. Atkins remained a person of interest in the murder for the next 3 decades. During that time, he was interviewed by police at least twice, but he maintained his innocence. Go figure. During one interview, Atkins told investigators that he had been a confidential informant for the Bristol Township Police Department at the time of the murder and had a good relationship with Bristol Township narcotics detectives, according to the criminal complaint. Former Bristol Township police thief, he might be, police chief Thomas Mills later confirmed that in 1991. Atkins had been working for them as a CI, purchasing meth and marijuana. Atkins also told investigators about a fight he had had with Hibbs and her husband over the claims of low-quality bud, but denied threatening her or her family. In January of this year, the case was submitted to the Bucks County Investigative Grand Jury. Atkins' ex-wife, April Atkins, was one of the people who testified. April Atkins told the grand jury that in the afternoon of April 19, 1991, Robert Atkins came home covered in blood. How about that for a giveaway?
Mm-hmm.
She and her then-husband she said that her then-husband told her that he had stabbed someone and lit their house on fire. Well, he then told her to call out of work and get their children because they're taking a trip to the Poconos, according to the criminal complaint. April Atkins said she then put his bloody clothes in the wash and showered. April and Robert Atkins then arrived at the Poconos shortly before 5 p.m. that day, stayed for 2 more days before returning to their home on Sunday, April 21, 1991, according to records. April Atkins then said that she discovered that day that it was Joy Hibbs who had been killed. April Atkins told investigators she feared for her own safety if she spoke the truth about her then-husband's role in the murder. Robert Atkins was arraigned on Wednesday with his bail denied, and he was then remanded to the Bucks County Correctional Facility.
Well, this wife kept that in for 30 years.
Isn't that crazy?
Like, she's like, I was afraid for my own safety. So you're telling me you divorced him.
That makes no sense.
You divorced him and then you still didn't tell police?
That makes no sense because if you're in fear, you go into hiding.
Yeah,
they protect you.
Yeah, usually.
He goes to jail.
Yeah.
What are we fearing?
He legitimately came home and said, I killed somebody and set their house on fire. I'm covered in blood. Wash my clothes. And you said, well, I'm scared for my safety, so I'm not going to tell anybody shit.
The immense grief and suffering our family has endured over the last 3 decades will never disappear, the Hibbs family wrote in a statement. For 31 years, our family has been haunted by this tragic loss, knowing without a doubt that Robert Atkins was the perpetrator. Our family has waited 31 years for justice to prevail.
Closure.
And that's how we will end that. And apparently I need to watch this Winnie the Pooh thing. All right. We got a couple things left. One, we got to get to Rage and Rob's Music Minute.
And then we're out of here, everybody.
We're going to get to Rage and Rob's Music Minute.
And we're leaving.
This is the cool down portion of the True Crime Podcast. Like I said, we're a True Crime Podcast for the ages. So we're kind of different than all the other True Crime Podcasts. So we're going to end this thing with some fun. We're going to do Rage and Rob's Music Minute. Joey Vegas has some quick hits. And then
we're out of here.
He gets to suffer.
No, we don't have time. We got to go. See everybody. We'll get to Rage and Rob right now, and then we're out of here. We're not no gummy bears, no gummy bears, no gummy beans, no anything. Here's Rage and Rob. I'm leaving.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program to bring you a special bulletin.
Listen up. It's time for Rage and Rob's Music Minute.
You do want to be a part of that, don't you?
Yeah.
This is Rage and Rob with your Music Minute. Hey, I just want to say happy belated birthday to Mr. Ford this week. Sorry I missed last week. I was on another one of those fucking benders, man. I gotta stop. I don't know what's wrong with me. I got a problem. But happy birthday to you, fine sir. I hope it was a great day and you listened to some music during it. Let's jump into it. So we got some awesome news here. So BTS is scheduled to meet with President Biden next week to discuss, yes, you guessed it, Asian hate crime, anti-Asian sentiment in America. What a crock of shit. You know, this is one of the worst narratives I've fucking heard of in the last couple of years. Like, when we were kids, yeah, like, maybe we did, like, the slanted eye thing, and it was mean, it was dumb, it was stupid. But I don't think I've ever met an American who has come to me and said, hey, look at that Asian-looking person. I hate them because they look Asian. What a bunch of bullshit. Will they stop with this fucking garbage? BTS, keep making your garbage fucking music. Shut your fucking mouth. Dance around for the little girls, you know, that you probably molest and rape all the fucking time. And shut your fucking mouth. So yeah, look forward to that BTS talking to Joe Biden. What is that conversation going to be like? Mumble, mumble, mumble. Yes, yes, yes. I have some Asian friends. Way back in 1936, I went to school with Johnny, the Asian boy. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, cool, bro. Oh, and some sad news. Andy Fletcher of Depeche Mode, keyboardist for Depeche Mode, has passed away at the age 60. In other news, last weekend was rough for Outdoor Music Festival, Welcome to Rockville, which I attended last year, had a blast, had a great time. Well, they had all kinds of weather issues for 2 nights, well, 3 of the 4 days. But 2 nights, the main headliners got canceled. The shows were stopped in the middle of sets. There were thousands and thousands of unhappy people. I read a lot of angry comments online over the weekend. I felt bad for the concert goers, but you know what? What can you do about Mother Nature? There's nothing you can do. But yeah, they had thunderstorms, lightning. It was awful. Always be prepared if you're going to an outdoor music festival. Weather could be an issue. This has been your Music Minute. Rage.
Ready, go!
That was good.
Thank you for that, Raging Rob, and thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate them. Thank you very much. If you're listening on the podcast, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I did not say that at the beginning of the show like I normally do. I was too excited about Joey Vegas going to get bean boozled. So, yeah, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you. Give us a like down below. You know, you've been on YouTube for many, many years. You know how to do that. Hit the like button. Vegas, we'll let you do quick hits. Then I'll tell you, we'll play a little game.
And then we'll have to get out of here real quick because I don't have time for games. Let's first of all, let's start. We're going to go down a little bit again.
Down,
and then we're going to get back up.
Okay.
Today, Ray Liotta passed away. Legendary actor, Goodfellas. His role in Goodfellas will live forever. He was also in Field of Dreams, and. He was just a great actor. He was only 60. He's only 60. He died in his sleep.
No, he was 67.
Was he 67?
Yeah,
I thought he was 60. Oh,
yeah,
well, 67. So he's a little older, but still very young.
I mean,
especially the average age is 78, or 76. So he was a little young, but he died today in his sleep. That's how I want to go. Either in my sleep or like something quick. I don't want to die of like cancer that's killing me over slowly. Give me something quick. But, as something happens in the death realm, today there is a birthday. The only birthday, the only birthday that I really thought that mattered is probably one of the greatest names in show business. Bobcat Goldthwait is 60. Now, I don't know if his voice is annoying as hell, but you know his voice. You can hear his voice just by that name. He's 60. For some reason, back when I was watching him on Hollywood Squares or wherever else he was on, I thought he was 60 back then. Okay, so, I mean, he's 60 now, so obviously he's doing something right or wrong because he looked like he was 60 back then. But this is Ford's favorite segment, 3 Things You Didn't Know Yesterday.
Oh, this is the best.
He loves it. We have 4 facts.
I do love this.
You are 4 facts, Ford, from Feeling Smarter, and everybody else listening as well. According to a study, the ideal height for an office cubicle is 4 feet 3 inches. It's high enough to provide privacy, but low enough to make sure that you don't feel totally alone.
Yeah, like the walls are closing in on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't hurt yourself because you feel that you're in a glass cage of emotion. Elephants can produce subsonic rumbles that they send through the ground in order to communicate. Bet you didn't know that.
Nope.
And finally, on this 3 things you did not know yesterday, let alone 10 minutes ago. If you take every planet in our solar system, line them up. Yep. So they're all touching.
No touching.
No, they have to touch.
Oh.
They will fit inside the space between Earth and our moon, with room to spare.
Wow. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that means we're really far from our moon,
Yeah.
apparently, because there's a lot of planets.
That's okay. I couldn't say sudden illness. They were southern illnesses.
Yeah, you couldn't say sudden. Yeah, and you did it multiple times.
Twice.
Yeah.
Very strange.
So I don't know about you. I know you're a little older now. You're a little bit more mature. But back in the day, did you when you went out and partied at night?
Oh, partied hard.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to drink and drive. Well, this new guy, not new guy, but this guy found a way to be drunk in a wheelchair. That's right, this wheelchair-bound German man, because why are they always overseas? Because I don't know. But German man was spotted zipping down the middle of the road. Was found to be 10 times over the legal drunk driving limit.
Does he play for the Raiders?
Whoa, zinger. The man told police he had been to a party, and rather than grab a taxi ride home, he decided to drive the 2 miles himself.
In his wheelchair.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
I mean, I'm assuming it was motorized, because if he had to really, that takes a lot of coordination.
I think it was probably motorized.
Yeah. And finally, every one of you, well, I shouldn't say everyone. See,
Every one of you.
I'm dating myself. Probably not every one of you, but hopefully most of you that are listening to this podcast, YouTube, whatever have you, remembers Charlie Bit Me.
Oh, my God, yes.
One of the most viewed videos of all time was uploaded.
Charlie bit my finger.
Yeah, 15 years ago this week.
Charlie, that really hurt.
Yeah. Yes. Was uploaded 15 years ago this week.
Wow.
Charlie Bit My Finger again, or more simply known as Charlie Bit My Finger or Charlie Bit Me, was a 2007 viral video, famous for being at the time the most viewed YouTube video. Wow. As of July 2021, so not that little recent, the video received over 886 million views. Wow. In May, and this is even more ridiculous. In May 2021, the video was sold as an NFT at auction for over $700,000. And on May 24th, 2021, the video was set to unlisted. So you can't watch it anymore because it was sold as an NFT. So somebody with $700 wasteful dollars.
What I wonder is, what kind of loot did the person make who made that video? Because that's
yes,
an astronomical amount.
886 million views.
Of views.
I don't know.
There's got to be some.
Yeah.
If they got paid, they got paid.
Well, they got at least the 700,000 for the NFT that they did. Yeah. But
imagine having to go on there and go to that video in your content studio on YouTube and set it to private.
Yeah.
After all that,
you got to set it to private because you sold the rights to it for $700,000 as an NFT. Non-fungible tokens.
Do you think they'd sell it for $700,001 and make $1 profit? We could put an offer in.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know where you're getting the 700,000.
Right. So this is part of the show, and we're going to do this. We're going to get this. We're going to get it out of here. A couple weeks ago, Vegas and I, as you could see with the hat on his head, he's a White Sox fan. As you can see the hat on my head, I'm a Yankees fan. And the Yankees and White Sox were playing each other remarkably 7 times in a week. So we figured, let's make a bet. We love betting. We love wagering, and we love torturing each other on this very show. So we like to torture each other with food items. And we have these jelly bellies that we've slowly but surely been going through and torturing each other with. So we made a bet. The team that won the most games, the other person had to eat the equivalent amount of jelly bellies. 7 games, the first one to 4 wins, you're guaranteed to have to eat 4. Well, unfortunately, the White Sox only won 3. And that's unfortunate for Vegas, but fortunate for Ford. That's right, F squared. Fortunate for Ford. Ha! The Yankees won 4, and now Vegas has to eat, and he's going to eat tonight. Now, I have decided we have a bag of gross ones here where, you know, they could be regular flavor or they could be gross. We're not going to read through the flavors. We're going to let Vegas pick first, and then the ones that he picks, we'll tell you what they could be. Vegas, I'm going to have you go 2 here from the gross, and then 2 spins on the wheel for the Flamin' Hots. The Flamin' Bean Boozled Jones. You can find all of this on Amazon if you want to torture yourself or your family. So, Vegas, you get to decide. I'm going to let you decide which 2 you eat first. You want to eat the gross ones first or the hotties?
Probably the gross ones, because I don't want those. If I do end up getting a non-gross one, which you and I have not gotten a gross one yet.
Correct.
So if I do get a gross one, which the chances are pretty good that I will out of 2, that I can wash it down with some hot capsaicin.
Okay. So go ahead and choose 2 from the bag.
I got some sweaty palms.
Like kind of like you could like put them out here, like not like out.
No,
but
I
like,
could no. Oh shit.
Oh, you drop one?
Yep.
You should take that one.
No, because no.
What if that's fate?
No, it's not fate.
What if that's a non-gross one?
Well, first of all, it's a blue one, and that's Tutti Frutti, and we've already got 3 of those. So
Is
I know
that Tutti Frutti?
Yeah, it's probably Tutti Frutti.
No, Tutti Frutti is the speckled one.
Oh, it's right. It's toothpaste or berry blue.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah. So it's either toothpaste or berry blue.
And then this one.
And then this one is either going to be.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's either going to be Tutti Frutti or.
Is that what it is? Dirty
socks.
Dirty dishes.
Oh, here you got.
I think it's dirty dishes and birthday cake. Because it's white, right?
Yeah. So it's either going to be dirty dishwasher, or birthday cake.
Well, it could have been worse. Could have been liver or something.
Yeah.
Well,
it could have been.
Yeah, it could have been. So
and then the blue one's either toothpaste or berry blue. Which toothpaste?
Toothpaste isn't that bad.
I eat Crest all the time. What? All right, go ahead.
All right, so we're going to try the toothpaste one here.
Yep.
Hopefully it's not Tutti Frutti.
Yep. No, it's berry. You want it to be berry.
Well, whatever. Oh, it's toothpaste.
Is it bad, though?
No, it tastes like cinnamon. It's great.
Oh. Well, that's not bad.
No.
That's not.
No, that wasn't bad.
No, that's not bad.
No, that was, yeah, that was toothpaste.
Now, let's hope this one is dirty dishwasher.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. Yeah, it just tastes like cinnamon Crest, which is my brand.
My brand. They have my brand. All right, so now this is either dirty dishwasher or Tutti Frutti. Now, for those of you that haven't been here, is it birthday cake?
Yeah.
Sorry, dishwasher or birthday cake. For those of you that haven't been here, I think I had Tutti Frutti last time.
You did.
So this could be birthday cake.
Yeah, or dishwasher.
Or dishwasher.
Dirty
dishwasher, which I don't know what dirty dishwashers taste like.
Well, hopefully
we're about to find out.
Hopefully I don't find out. Oh, there it is. Yep.
What is it?
Well, if it's birthday cake, it ain't birthday cake, so it's got to be dirty dishwasher.
How bad is it?
I mean...
Oh, it smells awful. I can smell that.
I mean...
Oh, my God.
It doesn't taste good.
It smells horrible.
Yeah.
I could smell that.
Well, thank God we're not kissing later.
Legitimately.
Yeah.
I could smell.
Yeah,
Oh, my God. It does smell like dirty dishwasher.
Not good. It's not good.
Oh, my God.
I mean,
I'd got 2 gross ones.
Yeah.
It's a 50-50 shot. You got 100. Oh, my God.
That wasn't good. I don't recommend the dirty dishwasher.
Dude, it smells so bad.
Yeah.
Folks, I wish we could do scented webcams here.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah.
Oh, it smells.
But it's funny because it didn't kick in. I tasted sugar. Just like a jelly bean.
Yeah.
And I tasted sugar, and then, like, after 4 things, I'm like, oh, there it is.
And then I smelled it.
I'm like, oh, there it is. It is.
Wow.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's still lingering.
Oh, that is awful. All right, here we go. Bean Boozled now. These are, he's going to spin the wheel. It's going to land on a flavor.
Oh.
So it's either going to be cayenne, habanero, Carolina Reaper, jalapeno, or sriracha.
Mine's going to be the worst because we've gotten lucky. And again, we're not.
Remember to hold the outside so you
Yep.
can get a good spin.
Got a good-
No, you're on the outside.
I got the outside.
There you go. Well, I think your fingers are still going to hit it. Just barely.
No.
There's a spin. Come on, Carolina Reaper.
No, jalapeno.
Oh, jalapeno.
Oh, I got lucky there. I've already had one of these.
Jalapeno. Here, I'll let you get it out. It's the green.
Well, you can see it better than I can.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to touch it.
Oh.
I don't want to touch your...
I think that's it.
That's it.
Looks like it. Okay.
That's the only green one.
All right.
So that's easy.
We'll do the next one.
You want to do the next spin? All right. Outside.
Spins.
Yep. There we go. Come on, Carolina Reaper.
Cayenne. I've had that too.
This cayenne's gonna be tough.
Which is cayenne? Yeah, I can't.
It's red with
I
dark.
can't-
It's
hold on.
dark red with lighter red spots.
Oh, there it is all over.
Nope.
Cat's gonna get it all.
They're hard to tell. There it is.
Yeah, that looks like it right. Okay.
I think that's it.
So
Yeah.
I got jalapeno and cayenne.
Oh, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I already had both of these already.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. I was hoping for Carolina Reaper because that's the one none of us have gotten.
Oh yeah, we'd die. You would die. Hopefully you get that next time. Well, here's my jalapeno.
Yeah. Well, this is anticlimactic. Wish we'd done the gross ones first.
Oh. I don't know if that was jalapeno or not.
It's the only green one, bud.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a little stronger than you thought.
Well, it caught me off guard. And then
Maybe
it
doesn't mix well with dirty
it does not mix
dishwasher.
well with dirty dishwasher and toothpaste. If you ever had Jelly Bellies, the flavor stays in your
man.
mouth for a while.
Yeah, they linger.
Oh God, no, it does not taste good. Not at all.
That's awesome.
Oh God, yeah. All right, here's the cayenne. God, this is gonna be murderous. Jalapeno's still burning.
So on the scale of hotness,
I think they're getting worse the more they sit.
the sriracha is the lowest, jalapeno is the second, and cayenne is the third hottest, and then habanero and Carolina Reaper. Woo! Is it stiff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can breathe fire right now.
You think they're getting hotter as they?
I think they're getting hotter. They're getting
They might be.
Yep.
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 Wow. Oh God, that's bad. Got milk?
No, I got more water.
Oh.
For those of you listening on the podcast, don't forget to hit
Oh,
the
God.
subscribe button. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You can go to shopfordinvegas.com and buy the latest Ford in Vegas shirt. It's our True Crime logo t-shirt. Help support the show.
It's on sale this weekend.
You use the code MEMORIAL22, we'll give you 20% off. That's right, MEMORIAL22 will give you 20% off. Shopfordinvegas.com. If you're listening on the podcast and you're like, damn, these ads, you could get this podcast ad-free. That's right, ad-free for just $3 a month on patreon.com/Ford and Vegas. $3 a month gets you in the door and gets you this podcast ad free. For Hot Mouth Vegas,
Oh my.
I'm cool as a cucumber Ford. We'll see you guys next week.